Hey everybody! So we are almost to the end of the semester. What we're doing this week is review. So there is a review discussion board for you to complete, and there's also a couple other things I think you can do to help review for the final exam. First thing I would do, go back and look back over the instructor's material for each module ever since the midterm. So that's what's going to be covered on the final exam. Go back and go over the instructor's material in the modules, and I would go back and reread the discussion board for each text that's on the final exam. So here's the text that we'll be looking at. Sunjata, remember Sunjata from West Africa. The poems of Francis Petrarch from Italy. The excerpt from the novel Don Quixote from Miguel de Cervantes from Spain, an excerpt from The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli from Italy. We also read The Prayer for Future Generations from the Popol Vuh, that comes from the Mayan civilization from present-day Guatemala. We also read excerpts from the Florentine Codex, which is from Mexico. That's about the fall of the Aztec Empire at the hands of the Spanish. We also read an excerpt from the Book of the City of Ladies by Christine de Pizan from France. And then lastly, we read the beginning of the 1001 Nights, or I should say the Book of 1001 Nights, and that's from the Middle East. So you have a lot to go back and review. So remember, look back over the instructor's material for each module that's on the final exam, and go back and reread the discussion board for each module that's on the final exam. Then I would do the questions in the review discussion board. That is what we're working on this week. Okay, so I am going to have to put a cutoff date for late work too. So remember how the weeks go up until that Sunday night? So this current week 14 goes up until Sunday, December 4th. That is the last day that I will accept any late work. So that means late quizzes, late discussion board questions, or any other assignment like the What Have You Learned assignment. All of that must be submitted before the end of the day, Sunday, December 4th. And then you're ready to take the final exam. The final exam is in week 15's module, and you'll see a list there of all the texts that are on the exam, along with some details about the actual exam. So the final exam must be submitted by 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, December 13th. So, what's on the final exam? The final exam consists of multiple choice questions, mostly. There's a total of 80 points possible on the final exam. And so the questions deal with all of the authors that I mentioned, and all of the texts that I mentioned, because not all the texts have a single author. So you want to make sure you remember what country the text comes from, what language the text was written in, and if there's any important literary terms related to the text. So for Sunjata, you should be thinking about the epic poem and the epic hero. For Petrarch, remember, he was famous for writing the sonnet. So make sure you go back over those important terms as well, and you will find those in the instructor's material for each module. Okay, so the final exam consists of 25 multiple choice questions. I'm going to take that back, 24 multiple choice questions, and there's one matching question that is worth 30 points. And so that is going to be, I believe it's 10 different texts, characters, or authors, and you have to match them up. So I think If you review what I said to review, go back and look at the instructor's material, go back and read the discussion boards, complete the review discussion board questions that are posted for this week, and then remember to review your literary terms and the language that the text was written in. And then I think you are ready to succeed at this final exam. So, any questions about your grade, other assignments that you have questions about, please don't hesitate to email me. I'm always available via email, and I can also meet with you via Zoom if you wanted to talk face to face. So this is my last video. I wish you all a happy holidays and everything once the semester's wrapped up. And please remember that I'm here to help. And so any questions you have, don't hesitate to reach out via email.